Be a Voice. This is Brick Carpenter and this is Usula Media. Thanks for joining me today. Today's show is very cool because I'm very excited to sit down with somebody that I had encountered and met a few years ago. Started following her journey, started following what she's been doing. And I'm really excited to be able to sit down with her today, peel some layers back and find out exactly how she got to where she's at, where she came from, and where she's going to. Today I'm sitting here with Drew Davis. Hi, Drew.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. This is great.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up.
Yes, of course.
This is amazing. Drew, I know who you are. I know what you do. I mean, on Instagram, you are Drew Davis Beauty.
Yes, Drew Davis Beauty is my Instagram.
Drew Davis Beauty is your Instagram. But I know you differently through the recovery scene.
Yes.
Through Dry Vibes.
Yeah.
Is how I met you. But I know you. So tell the listeners, tell everybody just, a little bit who you are.
Yeah, I'm Drew Davis. I'm 40 years old, mom of 4, married, but
40 years old, mom of 4?
Yeah. But that's not that's part of my life, but who I am is a person who's passionate about helping others. Through my own journey, I think that I needed spaces. And so I created one of the first non-alcoholic bottle shops and tasting bars in the country in 2020, after a near-death experience. And then I just started feeling called to create spaces. So Dry Vibes is a zero-proof festival. Again, one of the first in the country to really make people feel comfortable and seen in all spectrums of recovery, sobriety, or just sober curious. I never thought that my life would be running sober spaces and non-alcoholic liquor stores. If you would have known me 10 years ago, people would be like, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But I just stopped drinking and, stopped partying and really just realized that there was no spaces for people to feel seen, right, comfortable, safe. I think most of us, all we want to do is feel seen and safe in our lives.
Absolutely. And that's why most of us mask it and hide it for all those lies by. Yeah. So you are sober?
Yeah. So I guess sometimes I'll have a microdose of cannabis beverages, but I consider myself sober. I haven't had alcohol in 6 years. I quit drugs stopped doing drugs in probably 2008 or 9. Okay. That was I had kids, the mom guilt. I don't know. I wasn't life. We'll talk more about it, but and then alcohol was really my kryptonite, and so I stopped that in 2020. Not because I had a choice. My pancreas stopped working. So it was kind of a life or death experience that I was if you don't stop drinking, you will not be here.
Did this stop working because of the drinking?
They don't know, but they can't pinpoint why, but I've been drinking since I was 13 years old, and I've been a binge blackout drinker for most of that. So I'm assuming your body can only handle so much.
So you're all or nothing, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. In everything I do. Bless my husband's heart. And still. Yeah, it's still all or nothing.
So 13 years of age.
Yeah. I started I think I had my first cigarette and drink at 13. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my first drink was 13, but then I sort of was a good kid. I didn't start really till I was 17 when I went to college.
Okay.
So when I hear that was somebody at 13, because then I really just sort of took off my later years, you know? So that's really interesting because did you carry that on through your teen years the whole time, just party hardy?
Oh, till about 35 when I went to the hospital. I think it looked different. It was more drinking and smoking weed when I was but I had a lot of family things going on, and I was a really good kid. Mm-hmm. I was in sports, I was in student government, but I was also partying really hardcore. And that was felt very comfortable to not deal with my life. It was oh, drinking's an easy escape. But I also watched that in my family. That was the thing you did. When things got rough, we drank. When people die, we drink. When people are happy, we drink. When people get married, I never not saw alcohol. There's a picture of me. I remember at 2 or 3 years old grabbing a beer to give my dad or my mom. I don't know who it was, but it's I'm holding a beer at 3 years old. So I feel I now feel that children learn by osmosis, not by what we tell them.
And so you think it's learned?
I think people tell you don't drink until you're 21, don't do drugs. But if you see everybody around you doing that, that's what you learn. It's awesome. It's ingrained in you. Yes. I truly believe that.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I absolutely do too. It's sort of, that's all you know then.
Yeah.
That's really is all you know.
Yeah.
Until it's something different comes along.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I didn't know it was that hell of a journey there. That is 13 and then so it's now been 6 years.
6 years alcohol free. Yeah, so
and you touched on the microdose of the cannabis and the drinks. That's something that's becoming popular nowadays.
Yeah, I call it my tool to sobriety because like I was like when you get out of the hospital, they're like, hey, you can't have alcohol for a year, or like you could die, or you could be back here. And unfortunately, the pancreas is something you actually can't get a transplant for. So like I was such like into my alcohol that I'm like, all right, well, I could get a new kidney. But like I can't get a new I can't get a new pancreas. Like
you're making deals with your organs.
Yes, I always have like been justifying my drinking, and we'll talk like a little bit about my autoimmune journey with the drinking too. But so I got out and I was like, oh, I can do this. Like it's life or death. I want to be here. And I cried every day for 3 months, like on the floor. My husband would find me hysterically crying, like. And that's not normal that's not a normal response, but I refuse to go to AA or therapy because I watched that fail for so many people in my life. And it does work for a lot of people, and I'm so glad it's there. But I was so angry at that like system. So I like refused to do that. So I like raw dogged life. And I was like, I'm going to journal. I'm going to do shadow work. I'm going to like work through this myself. And I found microdose of cannabis drinks. And so sometimes I would turn to those when I was like at that point where I'm like, it's vodka, or it's like, you know, that spot for me. And that helped me a lot bring my nervous system down to where I could like function again and like not have those urges. So that helped me a lot get to sobriety. But now I really don't have them that much. Like sometimes I'll have them in family settings, like Christmas time. I'm handing out.
You need that. It's that volume. Hello.
Yes.
You know.
And like my mom is sober again, so like we break out the microdose cannabis when we're all together, like in a drink, and then we're all happy and have like nobody gets in a fight or you know nothing crazy happens at our family gatherings. But I do feel like it is a tool for sobriety for some people. I believe it's a tool. Not everybody can handle it,
right.
But
I agree too. I think what it is, I also think it's also society. I think, you know, dictates what your sobriety should be.
Yes.
You know, if your sobriety didn't include, you know, smoking a joint, well then that's your sobriety.
Yeah.
So be it, you know.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You know, recovery your own way, whatever works.
Yeah.
That's actually harm reduction.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's what I was saying.
It's all harm reduction. You know, this is harm reduction. You know, what you're doing is harm reduction. When you know, the dry vibes, it's all harm reduction. So whatever you can fuse into that. And I'm talking to more and more people that never had a problem with drugs per se, but they had a problem with alcohol. That are doing this micro infusion. I met with a friend of mine in New York recently. We had some conversations, and it was just really cool to hear that people are now in 2026 expanding their mind frames a little bit. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. I think we're on the cusp of something really big to help shift like recovery and harm reduction and help people find alternatives before it gets too bad or too scary. And I think we have a lot of stigmas to break around marijuana, like and that. But for me, like I could have one microdose beverage and not have another one and be good. But if you give me, like I was in Colombia recently and I've never been actually served alcohol. Like I've always asked for virgin, and like some people have those experiences where like they gave me real alcohol. It's never happened in Colombia. Probably a little like language barrier. They gave me alcohol and I took a sip and I was like, oh, like my whole body had a sensation, and it was like, I could drink this and nobody would know, and I could get another one and my husband will think it's a virgin. Like I keep telling it, or I need to stop it right now. And like that thought was like, you can't handle just one. Like I've never been able to have just one drink, like in my entire life. I don't think I've ever just had one. Like I'm just gonna have one tonight. It was always at least like 3 to 5 minimum.
Oh yeah, I don't think I was never that person that said, you know, you want to go out for a beer? A beer? No. Yeah. You want to go to the bar? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'll hang there all night long. But it's really cool to know that you were able to stop yourself.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you know, you could have just went with it.
Yeah, I could have, but I was like, the way it made me feel, I was like, this could get really bad real fast.
I think that's when you're at the point in your sobriety that you know that it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And you've come too far to go back.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm like really proud of my mom. She struggled a lot and she's sober again. I think like me being able to like offer her alternatives and me being there with her, not drinking, like it's just really changed our family dynamic a lot too.
Different dynamic now.
And like breaking those curses that I didn't think were ever going to be broken.
So you said you have 4 children.
Yes.
And they went through this with you as well.
My older 2 saw a lot. My younger 2 didn't. I was a young mom. So I'll share a little backstory and then get to the kids. But
Please.
so I was 17, moved out because I hated my family. Moved out on my own. Met this boy. He sold drugs. Got really into like cocaine and PCP, and just like I think through 2 years of my life were a blur. I got kicked out of college. Got kicked out of my roommate. Like I lived in Westchester. I went to Westchester. My roommates kicked me out. Ended up moving in with him. Living like with him with like. I don't think I ate. I think I just snorted blow all day.
The rat.
Yeah, the rat.
The rat.
The rat. Do you know how many? Oh my God, how many Incredible Hulks I had at the rat?
The rat.
Yeah, lots of partying at the rat, Kildare's, all of that, and then yes, yeah, I do. Like some of those times were beautiful. I won't say all of my experiences were bad. I had some really great memories partying, but the drugs took over and like. It just was really bad. And then I ended up getting pregnant at 20 and he ends up overdosing and dies while I'm pregnant. So he ended up overdosing on drugs and dying of my oldest daughter. So that was really obviously a very triggering experience, being 20, pregnant, watching somebody die, like literally watching them put in the body bag and wheel them out was something that I don't wish on anyone. So my youngest daughter, I feel like she got from birth, she had struggles to kind of or my oldest daughter struggles to overcome. Mm-hmm. So, I was a single mom for a while, like out there partying still, but no drugs. I stopped doing drugs after that. So like my brain did have some sense, like a little ecstasy here and there, but like, no, sorry, a little ecstasy here and there at the parties, but like no cocaine, no PCP. I was like, we're cutting this off. Like we're not doing this anymore.
I love the rational.
Yeah, isn't it? Like I'm like alcohol and ecstasy. That seems okay. Like that's a good experience until it's not.
They sort of go together a little bit, though, too. So.
Yes. And then I slowly was like, I have a child to raise. Like I have to get, it's like I got to get my life together. I'm also like 21 with I want to go party. Like I want to live my life. And so like I worked a lot of jobs. I did it. Like, and then I met my husband, and he's like. The opposite. I met him at a club too, of course. We met at a club. But he's the opposite. Like never drank alcohol until he was 21, was in the military, has never smoked weed in his entire life. Mm. So like, I'm like, what?
So he's like a normie.
Yeah. Like, like what
Total
is this?
Normie.
Yeah. I was like, what is this? So that's kind of like having that person step into your life really helped me kind of like, I don't want to say like it made me kind of slow down on all the other things and really focus on like building a relationship and like working on myself. And that was like 25, 26. And he had a son from a previous marriage and I had my daughter. So then we got married and then we have 2 together. So that's like we have 4 kids total. Yeah, but like
cool blended family.
Yeah, it's a nice blended family where I say we're like beautifully like mixed like race and my children are all biracial, but like race and marriages and like all the kids are just one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful in a way.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
It is. We're beautifully like biracial and mixed and beautiful family. Like we really are. Like we've come a long way, both of us.
How many years have you been married?
Oh gosh. We've been together almost 16 and married for 2012.
So even 16 years together,
yeah.
That speaks volumes to have that when you have somebody who really didn't experience the wild side of what you did.
No.
Drinking's whatever, but like it doesn't sound like he had a problem with it.
No, I mean, and I would tell him like stories, and I think you don't want to
shock him.
Yeah, so like still some days I tell new stories. He's like, what the fuck, Drew? Excuse my language.
Who are you?
Yeah, and I tell my kids all these stories. I will not tell them the things I did. And I don't want them to feel like it's okay. I want them to know that it was really scary. And like, I mean, there are situations where I was sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, don't know how, like could have lost my life. Like there's situations where I'm like, this is dangerous. And I don't tell them like, obviously all the details, but I'm like, mommy tried this. Mommy did this. Mommy was wild. Like, please like call me if you think about doing things. 'Cause I'm not stupid either. I have 2 college kids. Like,
how old are your youngest?
13 and 14.
Oh, so you have 2 teenagers and 2 in college.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this.
Yeah. We made it this far, but like, yeah. So when we got married, we still drank a lot. We still partied,
right.
But like I kind of cut the other things out, and then it's just like guilt and the hate for yourself and the trauma that you don't deal with. Like it just starts eating away at you. And then the stress of like, I worked a corporate job. Like I held it all together. I think people, and I feel like people think that drug addicts, alcoholics look a certain way, or that have to be a certain way. And like, I was the gray area. After my wild phase, I was the gray area where I ran a corporate job, made 6 figures, showed up to work because I popped 2 Adderall. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. That was me.
Yeah. Like
18 years.
Yeah. Like I was the people who like would, you know, drink myself to sleep, take the Adderall, not deal with any of the issues, maybe have arguments, maybe punch a hole through the wall in my anger. Like I did that for so long, trying to hold it all together.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a therapy session for me right now. It's like, you know, but that's it. And I really hate when people are like, say, you know, people that look like you aren't supposed to overdose 5 times. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, I think people more that look like us are the ones that are doing it more than what they expect or what they conjure up in their head, because we are trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
You know, we have all these other pressures. We have these traumas that we haven't dealt with.
Yeah.
You know, because you said it several times, you know, trauma. So there's trauma in the life that triggered this.
Yeah. Lots of trauma, childhood. Like, my parents were young parents too. So like, they went through a lot. I was the oldest. Like, I saw a lot of things that I shouldn't have seen. I was told to be quiet. Don't tell this parent. Don't tell. Like, there was just so much that I held in and tried to like, then I'm like the mom, and then I've got to like be the best, you know, I've got to hold it together. Then I'm the wife. Like, and I never dealt with anything. Like, I never went to therapy for anything. I never went to the police for any situations. I just blamed it on myself. Like, you drank too much. This is why you got assaulted. You did this. This is, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I'll never point my finger at anybody else. I always took the blame, but like, the blame eats you.
It does.
And the guilt eats you.
The guilt is crazy.
And then you're waking up at 3 a.m, like staring at the ceiling, like questioning your life. But you know, because the alcohol woke you up because you got your hearts raised. Like, I was just in this whole awful like cycle. Like, I didn't enjoy life, but like, I was pretending. Like, the alcohol made me enjoy it for a little bit. And I had a beautiful, beautiful, healthy children, a loving husband, but like, I hated myself. And then, you know, and I had a great job, like, and I just was like, why do you drink yourself to sleep every night? You know? And I have a lupus, and I remember, it's so funny how you justify things. I would break out in hives every day, be covered. I'm on steroids. I'm like, my husband's like, I think it's the vodka. I'm like, no, it's gotta be the cranberry juice with the vodka. Like, there's no way. It's clean vodka. I switched to Tito's. Like, it's clean vodka.
I need my dog Tito.
Yeah, I know, right. Yes, exactly. Like, I was like, there's no way I'm having these, like, I mean, and I'm telling you, these flare-ups are like hospitalized. Like, they can't figure out what's wrong. They're sending me to like U of Penn. Like, they're like, we don't know why her body's reacting this way. The whole time, the whole time, the second I stopped drinking vodka, the flare-ups really went away primarily. And then it was more stress-induced. Like flare-ups. Yeah. But like, I stopped drinking the vodka, and like, where if I'd go, like, I wouldn't have the highs. My husband was like, didn't want to say I told you so, but for like 6 years, I'm like, there's no way it's the vodka. Like, it's the cranberry juice. It's the sugar. I'll just do straight vodka now with water. Like, water, you know, with a squeeze of lemon. Like, there's no way. I'll just take the sugar out of it.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, I know. Then I'm like polishing off bottles of vodka a night, you know, and upping my Adderall dose to like 40 milligrams extended release. And listen, Adderall, is great for people who probably need it. I abused it.
I had this conversation last night with a friend of mine. I said,
yeah,
anything that is prescribed or meant for you and it's done the right way is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's when people start to not do moderation or abuse it somehow. Yeah. And it's like, everything you're saying is like singing my story, because like,
really?
I'm mirroring a lot of what you're saying. That's why I'm smiling. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm like, she's getting in my head. She's like, I feel a lot of this. And it cracks me up, because even with the vodka, it was vodka and tequila for me. Like, my face would become like bright red. Blotchy. Then all of a sudden, some days there would be like these purple veins coming out. I'm like, who am I? Like,
I know. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just we're killing ourselves with the toxicities. Like, straight vodka is like poison.
Absolutely. And then I'd go to the work next day. I'd be sweating bullets, and I'd be like, what's wrong with me? The minute I stopped drinking, I was like, wait, I'm not blotchy. I'm like, oh, this is great.
I know. I would work out. I'd get up at 5 a.m., like, take my Adderall, go work out at the gym. I'm like, I am still overweight. Like, why can't I lose weight? You know, all these things that I never attributed to the alcohol. And I think I blame it on society a little bit because they glamorize it
Absolutely.
so much. And they don't you never see an ad of somebody just overweight, drinking, struggling. Like they're not going to do that. They show the beautiful skinny woman, like with her hair glowing, having a sip, like a martini on a bar with a fine man. Like they don't ever show the negative parts.
Right.
So it's like, you never think, like your brain is programmed to be like, oh, this is glamorous.
They romanticize it.
Yeah. And my goal when I got sober was like, I'm going to glamorize not drinking and make people feel safe and sexy in their sobriety.
I love it. So that's how that was your goal. That was sort of like your purpose.
Yeah. I think I always say, I don't know if it was God, the universe, or whatever people believe in, but I just 3 months in, so April 2020, I went to the hospital during COVID. And that was another thing. Nobody could go with me. So I was in a hospital, like ICU at first, and then to a hospital room for 10 days by myself with my pancreas. And my husband and kids would pull up to the window and wave to me because they couldn't come in. Like we'd FaceTime, but like they'd pull up and like wave to me. And I'm like, okay, Drew, like that was a wake up call. Like, what legacy are you leaving your children? What, how are you really there for them? Like, or when you read bedtime stories, were you buzzed every night? Like,
this was 6 years ago. So
yeah,
they were 7 and
they were young. Yeah. 6. Yeah. Probably like 7, 8. And the other one was like 13.
And I don't mean to
14.
interject with you, but I interrupt, but like, that's really cool that you realize that, because a lot of people don't realize the trauma that it causes on the family.
Yeah.
Especially with the kids growing up. So to see that and recognize that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I mean, and then I started like that. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, they saw me pass out on the floor after we had a party. You're like, why is mommy asleep on the floor? I'm like, that stuff is not, children should not see that. And so that kicked in. But then like 3 months in, I was like, I got to find alternatives. I got to find stuff. I got to find ways to heal my body from the inside and like make myself. So I started like finding non-alcoholic beverages. There wasn't much. Some like herbs that helped with stress. And I always say like God was like, just like, basically you need to create this space. And I'm like, what is happening here? Like create a non-alcoholic bottle shop and community space. And I just did it. I was like, I'm either going to regret it for the rest of my life if I don't do it, or like, this is something I need and I hope other people need it too.
So how, like, as far as like creating it, like what,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I know, listen, we all make deals with ourselves when we go into recovery. You know, I'll do this if I get 30 days, and I'll do this if I get 90 days, and I'll do, you know, and I did that with Philly Unknown with my, you know, what I do, and it worked for me too. I found a purpose. Yeah. But like, how did that really come about? Especially taking this and really now making it tangible. Yeah. Because it's one thing to say, I'm going to make non-alcoholic beverage. Now it's making it tangible that you have actual physical shop and stuff. Yeah.
So I worked a really great job, and I started saving all my money. And I was like, I launched it online first. So I bought a website. I came up with a name. I'm a Gemini, so it's called Gem Life. It was like, I don't know, like it's like, and the drink's called Gem, like,
love it.
And like, I just feel like we're all unique gems. We all have our own journeys, how we get polished and shine. So I started like that. And then I found a space in October of 2020, and I had been driving by it, and it was affordable. And I called the guy, and he's like, are you sure you want to rent this? Like, the world's closed. I said,
so you opened up right when the world closed down?
Yeah. And I said, I do. I was like, I do. So I spent a year, and I think it was part of my processing all I've been through, but like I ripped up the flooring myself. I painted the ceilings. Like I used my hands. Like I created this space from the ground up, and I think I needed to do that for my own healing journey.
And
it's in Pittman, New Jersey.
Okay.
It's called Gem Life and Bar. We had a few locations all over. We tried multiple, but this has like been our home base for about 6 years now.
Your mainstay.
Yeah. And so it's there, and we were one of the first in the entire country, actually the entire world, to launch a non-alcoholic bottle shop. And I've never thought I would be in Vogue magazine, Forbes, like the girl who was snorting cocaine off the back of a toilet in a club, like never thought that she would own a non-alcoholic bottle shop and be featured in these huge things. And they were cool accomplishments. But what really changed my life are the people who came in and were like, do you know my son is now like 8 months sober because of this place? Or like, Drew, like you providing, like letting me come here and like share my story and try drinks, and like has changed my life. And like I can't even count how many messages. And I'm like, that's the legacy that I have to leave in this world, is helping people realize their potential and realize they don't have to live in this journey any longer. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is like, I mean, the messages I get, like I get teary eyed when I talk about it, because I'm like, I like hope that I'm like, if I can help save one life in this world, like I hope I have, you know?
I think you have. I think you made a huge impact at this stage. I mean, because I mean, I know people that are in this space. You know, I know people that have done it, and I was introduced to you through your drive-bys.
Tawny, I think.
Yeah,
Shout out to Tawny. I love Tawny. That's my girl.
Tawny, parentheses.
Yeah,
yes. Because when she gave me a shot of that stuff, I was like, woof.
Yeah, I know. What they're doing is incredible. I admire her and Nick. They're incredible humans.
Yeah, they have a really good thing going on.
Yeah.
There. And then our friend Rachel.
Yes, Rachel. Love Rachel.
Me too. Rachel slings, and she does great things. And
I wish I had Rachel's energy. I wish I had, that's one thing I would take is her energy.
And I was walking uphill with her in New York, and it was funny because she was going, and I'm like, yo, chill.
Yeah.
I'm like, really sort of flat, come on.
Yeah, you're like, hold on, slow down a little bit.
She has a lot of energy. She gets things done. But so do you, though. You have a lot of energy. You get things done. And, the bottle shop, I mean, that was a risk.
Yeah.
You took a risk in the middle of it all.
Yeah. It was such a risk. And I'm going to be honest with you. I then poured too much of myself into it.
Okay.
So I gave everything to that after I promised myself I'd leave corporate. And I had a cush job in corporate. I was a chief, marketing director for a beauty brand and a celebrity stylist. And it was that's where Drew Davis Beauty came from. I used to do hair, makeup, be in the beauty world. And this huge shift in my life, took me into wellness. I was like, I have to save my life. I then poured the last 6 years, everything I had, 401ks, all my savings, children's college funds. Sorry guys, you better get a full ride. Mommy's trying to save the world here. And so now
I'm be smart.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
I'm play good sports.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, the amount of money that we spend on you guys doing sports, you better be good at something. I'm a very honest mom. They're like, Mom, that was rude. I'm like, well, I'm being honest.
They'll appreciate that later.
Yeah, I know,
they
right?
Really
I'm
will.
like, I'm just an honest human. I'll say it how it is. But I think you said too, I did this because it was my purpose and it also helped me stay sober. Mm-hmm. I was accountable to so many other people too. And that's what I needed. And I'm so thankful for that. But then it burned me out a little bit. And so, I'm taking a little bit of a step back with our space, and we're not going to be open as much, and it's going to be more of a community space, but it feels very aligned because I'm building a drink brand that I wanted to bottle my experience in a drink and be able to have people experience this and have an option across the country, So that's my mission right now, but I can't do everything. We're human. We can't do everything. And when we spread ourselves thin, and our nervous system goes crazy and we don't feel safe, that's when these thoughts and these things come in. I've had more thoughts in my 6 years of sobriety than my first 3 about drinking. And I think it's because I've started pushing myself back in that rat race. And so I think we all have to have that switch. We're doing too much and we have to provide safety and our nervous system needs to take it notch down.
And I'm glad you said that because not many people recognize you have to take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
People see what you're doing and they love it. People see what all the names that we just mentioned that are doing. But they forget that we have to take care of ourselves or self-care.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, I got to the point, where I was burnt out.
Yeah.
That I was like, I got to stop doing whatever I'm doing, everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
And focus on me, because if not, I'm going to be back on the streets. I'm going to be back, I'm on the streets now doing what I'm doing with my nonprofit and stuff. But I'm going to be back on the streets on a different reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I really loved what you said. It was really sort of beautiful how you said that you're pouring it into a, I don't even know if you could say it again.
I just want to pour everything I experience into a drink for people to have.
That should be your slogan right there. That should be your slogan to it.
Yeah.
Because it speaks to it. So, the Dry Vibes, I mentioned on that.
Dry
Vibes was an event you created.
Yeah. Created in 2020, launched in 2023, one of the first zero-proof, consumer-facing zero-proof festivals in the world that we know of. And it grows every year. And I think what's beautiful is, and I don't know if you know that, agree with this, but I think you see Miami, LA, New York, they've got all these wellness base and these cool things to do outside. And I love Philly, but I feel like we gather around alcohol. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bars, restaurants, and not as much wellness. Mm-hmm. And I think it's changing. I do see the landscape changing, but I wanted to bring something different into the mix and let's all have a big party and hang out and lift each other up, but there's no alcohol. We'll have a DJ, we'll have speakers, we'll have all these cool things, right. And you won't feel like you're missing out on alcohol or drugs or any of that. You're going to have a good time and connect. And I think, I've said, I think humans just want to connect with each other, find somebody that they can feel safe around. At the end of the day, I fully believe that I fully believe that if our nervous systems felt safe and that we feel seen for who we are and not judged and like accepted, that a lot of us wouldn't have gone through what we went through. But that's just not the case. And so my goal was Dry Vibes was to provide that. Like, let's amplify brands changing the world. Let's make everybody feel like safe in a space, and like, let's just have fun.
And it was fun.
Did you have fun?
Was it at 2023 or 2024?
Okay. 2024, I think. Yeah.
2024 is when I was at, and it was a really good time.
Thanks.
It was really, you had some great speakers. You had some, and in different rooms with different things going on. You had massages even going on. I remember, right? Yeah,
we had like massage. Yeah, I feel like it's all integrative, like wellness, inspiration, nourishment through the beverages.
And I think people don't understand that wellness is a huge part of recovery. Your sobriety, you need to maintain wellness as well. Healthy body, healthy mind.
Yeah.
There's so many people that get into recovery or into their sobriety, and they become healthy on that level, but not in their body level.
Yeah.
Their mind level may become, but then they let their bodies go.
Yeah.
And they forget that, and that can bring you right back to where you were.
Yeah.
Especially somebody who is into the beauty part of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to,
When they always say beauty is skin deep, like beauty comes from within, regardless if it's your personality, the aura you put off, what you look like. We have to take care of our insides. Like, I do love a good Coca-Cola, but like also Coca-Cola can clean your battery off. So like, what is that doing to our insides? You know what I mean? Like, and listen, I'm not perfect, guys. Like I always say that just because I don't drink doesn't mean I don't have my vices. I eat ice cream 5 times a week. Like I probably need
ice cream.
Well, when you get sober, it's like candy and ice cream. Just give me something to like take that sweetness.
And then you have damn GoPuff that'll deliver to you anytime you want. And then you have the Ben & Jerry's pint.
I know.
And then before you know it, before morning, it's gone. At least in my house it is.
No,
it's only me, so.
100%. Oh, no, I get the flavors that nobody else in my house likes, because then I can just eat it like all the time. Like, no, I'll get like nobody likes mint chocolate chip, which is so weird in my house. So I order like lots of mint chocolate chips. So I always have that at the end of the night. But yeah, DoorDash has been my best friend here. Like, I'm in the Jersey side, but like my husband's like, I feel like we need to stop door dashing every day. I'm like, okay.
I'm also glad you said that too, because there's no conversations. Everybody's always like, oh, I'm sober now, I'm in sobriety. Okay, that's good, but you're still addicted to something. Yeah. Whether it's you're going to the gym and you're working out, 7 days a week, or you're going to Atlantic City and you're playing poker, or you're smoking your cigars. And there's a vice. You're going to have a vice. Yeah.
100%.
It just depends on which vice is going to be better for you in the end.
Yeah, I love gambling too. I never was addicted to gambling, but like when we go, my husband has to pull me off the slots. Like, so I am an all or nothing person. And I think like with work, that was my addiction for a while. And then like also ice cream. But like I am like, I am an all or nothing person with things. And so I'm glad I've shifted that from drugs and alcohol. But like still now I'm trying to break my sugar addiction, because like I want sugar all the time, but it's not good for us. So it's like, there's always things you gotta work on. You gotta give yourself grace though.
I love it though that you recognize these things.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you don't make excuses for it. This is just you, this is who you are.
Yeah.
There's so many people who also get into, and they want to like keep up an air about themselves. Nothing like that with you whatsoever.
No, I think the most beautiful part of my life is that I've been really good friends with people who have been in jail and people who own multi-million-dollar companies. And I think that I've learned a lot from both, and I never judge anybody by like what they're doing or what situation they're in. I have had a lot of family members lose their life to drugs and alcohol, but then on the outside, our family looks like this, and I'm going to say like this perfect, like Caucasian family. They've like privilege, and listen, I am Caucasian. I am privileged by just our country, but like people look at my family from the outside in, like growing up, like this is the perfect family. Little did they know we're not the perfect family. And I want people to know that, like, you don't have to put on a facade. Like, there are things that happen inside of all families, and it's okay, and you can work through it, and you can be whoever you are around me.
Dysfunction's real.
Yeah.
It really is. Dysfunction, trauma. Yeah. We don't speak about it, and I think that's really important. So you're a safe space.
Yeah.
You're a safe person. Somebody can come to you, and that's
matter.
not really common in today's society.
Yeah. There's no judgment. I've done so many awful things. Like, I'm like, there's no judgment with me. You could tell me a lot of things, and I'd be like, all right, how are we going to fix this? Like, how can I help you?
Are you a problem solver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably a problem too. Yeah. I always want to figure out a solution. I always say I'm a professional solutionist. Like, you come to me and let's figure out solutions. And when I can't, it like really upsets me. Yeah. I'm like, if I can't, and that's probably the perfectionism, like, as you want to just be I think part of like addiction too is you want to be perfect until like you can't be perfect anymore. And then that's when you just give up completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just can't hold together.
No. Oh my gosh. No.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I do want to go back to this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I'm a yapper, so you cut me off.
I mean, we could go round and round.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, like certain people, it's like a 3-part episode.
Yeah.
So you said, you poured it into the drink. What made the drink? Why? And
Yeah.
where are we going with it?
Let me tell you something really cool about this. So I spent the last 6 years running a bottle shop. I wrote this in my journal in 2022, Gem Blends. I want to launch a drink. I fully believe in journaling. That's been very therapeutic to me. So I started writing that then, didn't have the funds, didn't know what it was going to be, took all the data that I've received from all these customers and feedback, and I took all that and I was like, I'm going to create a drink with all this feedback. And also herbs that I really like. Like I'll drink that and it makes me feel calm and relaxed. It doesn't make me feel high, drunk. It doesn't make me feel out of body, out of character. So I launched this. And then I realized how expensive it was to launch a drink. And I am a self-funded from day one. So I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like I did a round, but I was like, I don't know how I'm going to keep this going. So I follow Mark Cuban, and I'm like looking on there for like venture capitalists. I'm going through this, and he posts a video about a lady named Arlan Hamilton. And I'm like, okay, she was homeless and living in the San Francisco airport, like battling alcohol addiction, which I didn't know that at first. I knew, like I read about she was homeless, to owning one of the first women Black-owned venture capital firms called Backstage Capital. So I followed her because I'm like, I want to learn about this. Like I want to see. Messages me on Instagram within 30 minutes and was like, I would like to jump on a call with you and talk to you. So I'm thinking, is this a scam? Do you know what I mean? Like I've been scammed so many times in my life, so I'm like, is this a scam? Get on a call with her on a Zoom. Basically, she is sober 8 years, I think 8 or 9 years now. Wanted to like launch a beverage company. Has been working through it. Saw that like I was like, a biracial family, and that like I was all encompassing. I was sober, all these things. I was like, can you fly out to LA in June? Like this was in like 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, like I don't know this woman. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I was like, my husband was like, just you got to do this. Like, and I felt that too. So I flew out there, met her. She's the most incredible human. She
went by yourself?
By myself. Flew out there, met her. I mean, we met at Soho House, so that made me feel a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Not a bad place to be.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we're meeting at Soho House. I feel a little safe. And now she's my business partner on this. And we just launched our second flavor, and we're ready to take over the world in 2026.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's our sobriety. Like all the good things in my life have come after I stopped drinking. And I think that if I didn't put myself out there, if I didn't tell my story on social media, I would have never connected with her and now have somebody who like believes in me. And like I cried when I first, like on the Zoom call, I'm like, I'm meeting this lady. I'm crying because she's like, I believe in what you're doing and I want to meet you. And I'm like, I finally feel seen, you know what I mean? Amazing. By somebody in like the business world. And so I just always want people to know that like you can do anything when you fully believe in yourself at any age. Like I'm going to be 41 in 2 months and I'm starting a whole new beverage company. This is a whole new business. But like I'm going to do it. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But like I'm going to do it.
That's great though.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Nothing lost if you don't try.
Yeah. But I would have never done this when I was drinking alcohol. I was too consumed with going to the party. What club are we going to? Whose house are we meeting at? How many bottles am I buying from the liquor store?
So this is, this is your big book, basically. This is what you're doing in your personal and professional life to better yourself. Yeah. Is it? And I'm glad you said that too about meetings. I'm not a meeting person, Yeah. I mean, I love it. I believe that works great for so many people. It saves so many, people's individual souls and lives. Yeah. But I also, that's not me.
Yeah. No, my mom, and like she might get mad that I mentioned this, but it's my story too. But like she was in an AA, and like they all decided one day that they wanted to drink, all of them.
Together,
and it was, and I was in a high school, and it was a shit show. Like, I mean, she fell down the stairs, she broke her face. Like, my sister was little, my dad was on a bit. Like, it was chaos, and they were all in AA together. And I was like, I saw that, and I went to some AA meetings with her to support her, and there was a trigger for me with that. So that wasn't my route. But like my friend, well, I call him my friend, but Brandon Novak, like he spoke at my event the last 2 years. You know, Brandon.
Oh, Brandon.
We love Brandon, but like AA worked for him. And like what he's doing is incredible. And like his journey inspires me all the time because I lived in Westchester. So I used to party with them back in the day. Like, so I'm like his journey, like, so it works for some people. And I think it's so beautiful. And if it works for you, please keep doing it. But for me, it wasn't an option for me. It was too triggering. I saw too many things that I just couldn't take back.
And it's interesting because I also have a friend who you know, I was going through some stuff recently, and he encouraged me to you know, because he knows that I wasn't going to a meeting, to find some spiritual guidance at that point. And it was really tactful the way he said it. It was actually our buddy Dave from Dopey. He said, you know,
Dave,
yeah. He was like,
I haven't yet been to DopeyCon or connected with Dave. So
I have
hey,
since
Dave.
like the beginning. So,
I would love. Is he doing it still?
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to maybe go next year.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But you know, and it's interesting you said, because you got to find your different ways. But we all should be able to come together and work together. And you know, nobody's sobriety, nobody's recovery is the same. We're all looking at it differently. But you also said it before. It doesn't matter where you are in life. At the end of the day, we're all the same. Yeah. You know, it's basically you brought it down. Yeah. So tell us your partner's name again one time.
Arlan Hamilton.
Arlan Hamilton.
Yep.
So you started this. Yeah. This is now taking off for you. Yeah. We just launched our second flavor this week, our brand new website, Drink Gem Blends. So that's the passion fruit guava. Okay. We have a lemon lime ginger we just launched. Our website, brand new website just launched. And like this year, my goal is to like, there's big places I want to show up with this brand. So I'm headed out to LA in a week for one of her events where we're going to showcase the drinks. And I just am like, it's 2026. I'm another year older, and I'm just going to be bold with what I want to do. And like, this is my plan. I'm still going to have my storefront because it needs to be a safe space for people. I sat with God for a long time. I believe in God and I believe in the universe. I've got a weird spiritual connection with all of it. That's my personal thing. And I was like, do I get rid of this place or do I not? Like, it's weighing on me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, financials are not always easy when you run a brick and mortar. Like, there's been times where I'm like, how do I pay everyone? Mm-hmm. And people are always like, you're killing it, Drew. Meanwhile, I'm like crying because I'm like, I don't even know how I'm going to do payroll this week. Like, they don't. I think we just need to be more honest about life because there's a highlight reel happening all over social media. Right. But like, a lot of people I talk to are not living in that highlight. There's some really amazing things, but there's some really overwhelming things. So I sat with God and I was like, what do I do with this place? Like, and he's like, you need to keep it, but like, you need to not, like, you know, what came out of that conversation with me, myself, my journaling, God, keep it, but not, you don't need to be there all the time. You need to focus on like what makes you happy and like what brings you joy. So that's the drink, and the space is still there for events and community and education and wellness, but that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be like full retail anymore. I love it. Yeah. I love it. So you have a mission now. Yeah. Another purpose. Yeah. Another purpose. Another chapter, another journey. I feel like we just forever pivot. I'm forever pivoting. Like, I like that too. Yeah. As we should. You know, I had a boss at one point in my life who, you know, people always say, you know, oh, change is good. She has to say, you know what, change is change. Yeah. You know, and we're doing it and it's going to happen. And I like that. We are forever pivoting. Yeah. And like, it's okay to like start something really cool and then be like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think that was hard for me to be like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Because I think you connect your success or who you are to things. And I'm like, this is my success. This is who I am. And I'm like, but it's okay. You did that, and now you really want to do something else. It's all in the same wheelhouse. It's all helping people and like bringing awareness, but like you're just pivoting, and that's okay. And like my kids, like I'm 5 years, I'm going to be empty nester. Like at 46, which I'm so excited about, by the way. Sorry, I'm like love my children, but I cannot wait for them. Like, but I also am like I have 5 years left to spend with my children in the house, and so like that for me, that's what's important is like just being able to, the balance of being there, spending time, and also building my career and my mission. And that's also awesome though too, because there's hope for people that, you know, it can happen. It can work. Yeah. You and I are both living proof of this. You know, we've made it this far. Yeah. You know, especially, you know, we were probably two pretty much fuck ups in our lives. Dude, my grandparents always said, me and my cousin, which he did go to jail. I've only been to jail a few times, guys. I didn't stay very long. Yeah. 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 I only pulled a few overnighters. It wasn't I didn't stay very long. I got like, I sometimes want to put my mugshot on a t-shirt.
I can't find some of them though, because I think I paid to get them like expunged off, certain things. My grandmother was like, you just blow us away every day, because we literally thought you and Chad would always be in jail. Like, you guys would be in jail. Like, we never thought you amount to nothing. We were always like, better save bail money for them. Like,
your grandmother said this.
Yes.
Thanks, Nan.
I know. Thanks, Grandma. And like, I remember like a teacher in school. Like, I would party like on school nights and like show up at 9 o'clock. And they were like, well, hopefully you get a bank job where you don't have to be there till 9 o'clock, because like nobody will ever hire you. You're never going to amount to anything since you can't show up to school. Like, nobody believed in me. Like nobody was like, I don't think anybody did. I mean, and I see why outside looking in, they're like, oh, she's like a lost cause. But like, I believed in me deep down. And I had to find that person again.
That's awesome. I do know.
Yeah.
And that's great to know, because so many people are still lost.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find yourself. And even when you find yourself, you're still finding yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, right now, I feel like I'm in a whole new, like this last year, I don't know if it was like what's happening this last year. I'm like, it's like another rebirth of Drew. Like, what's like, I had to work through some more things I didn't work through. You think like in sobriety, you work through it. The first year is like the pink cloud, like, oh, I'm doing this. And then I'm like, all right, year 5, like I've got to work through some things, and things aren't all butterflies and rainbows. And I'm not feeling like I felt, 3 years ago. So like, what's going on? Like, I had to sit with myself.
I love it. I love that. But you're high energy too. Talk about high energy. You got high energy. You are up there with high energy.
Well, I just had an energy drink on the way. I'm like, a little caffeine to kick me up. But I think I just like, I want people to know that it doesn't matter if you're 25 or if you're 55. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like,
why'd you point at me when you said
Are you 55?
No, I'm actually 58.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Well, you look great for your age.
Thank you.
I mean, but like 60 is a new 30.
That's what they say, but I'm not feeling that some days.
No,
it's easier to say when you're not that age. But,
well, listen, I'm getting ready to turn 41, and I'm like, wow, things are not sitting where they used to as a woman. I'm like, TMI, but I'm like, things are changing really fast. And people told me that. And I'm like, okay. And that's the other thing. Like, as we get older, it's like, you're like, okay, I have to take care of myself more.
Right.
And like, you have to like, I don't know if getting older for you, I don't know if it's different for men and women, but like for me, I was like, oh, like my body's changing, my physical appearance changing. I was having a hard time this last year with that.
Well, as an individual who suffers from body dysmorphia, and back when I was 17, 18, 19, I was actually hospitalized for my weight back then.
Sorry.
Because, well, from sports stuff like that, your brain is programmed to say this and that.
Oh, yeah.
And, yes, I understand those struggles.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I understand them, because after I got off drugs, my weight went from like 155 to 205.
I know that,
So I understand. Yes.
Yeah. That's, I always like, I think I struggled too with my confidence. I always like hated myself. I was like, I'm too fat. And then I look back on pictures. I'm like, you look so fucking good. Yeah. I mean, it could have been a little bit of the cocaine, but like, I'm just kidding. And the Adderall, like, but I was always finding drugs to keep me thinner, because I didn't want to do the work.
Well, that's why we did the drugs we did.
Yeah. I'm like, give me some amphetamines. Like, but no. But yeah, so it's hard. Like, as you get older, like your body changes, you physically change. Like, it's a hard thing to deal with for some people. For me, it was. Maybe I'm just very like vain in that aspect, but I was like, oh, like I'm not feeling like I used to.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's totally nothing wrong with that. I mean, you should be allowed to feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
And you should be allowed to do what you want to do to feel the way you want to feel.
Yeah.
And nobody should ever say anything about that.
I know. Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting anybody else, and it works.
Yeah. I love that. Do you think like that you, like when you quit drugs and alcohol, that you could start to age backwards a little bit?
I do.
Yeah.
I really do. I especially since I always feel that when you quit drugs and alcohol, you never really were able to experience those ages that you had there, because they were taken away from you.
Yeah.
So like, I think, in aging backwards in both like mind frame and in like sometimes body, the health wise, looks wise.
Yeah.
People are always like, great, you look great for your age. I'm like, I must have done the really good heroin. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do. I believe you do.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like, Drew, like, what are you doing? You look better than you did like 5. I'm like, I literally just quit drinking alcohol and started like sleeping normally and like drinking water once in a while. Eating. Yeah. Like that's all I've done. And people are like, what are you doing for your skin? I'm like, I mean, I wash and put like, I do my like routine, but I'm like, same thing I was doing then. I just, it was a toxin in our body.
The toxins from our bodies. And that's what we did. When you remove the toxins from your body, you get, like before, my skin would be just nasty. It would be like dry, thick, It's still a little bit now, but like, that's because we live in Philly.
Well, I don't know. We live in like the Arctic right now.
That's where we live, the tundra.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I do feel that way. And I think, I don't think everybody feels that way.
No.
But it's just a mind frame too.
Yeah.
People have to remember it's that mind frame.
Yeah, that's true. We are what we think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have self-talk.
I know.
So all these things you do, for everything else, for what do you do for self-care for yourself outside of all the recovery and everything?
Yeah, so I'm
and the kids
trying to get good at that because I'm not good at that.
Okay.
That was one thing. I'm a self-sacrificer. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
yes, I'll do, and I'll just.
I want to, or like I'll schedule my day. Like, sure, I can do this, do that, do this, do that. Like, because I want to help. I really, the core of me wants to help. I love vacations are great for me, and I always like to plan a vacation because that's like when I'm like 5 days shut off everything. Like, I'm really good at that. So
is this with or without kids?
Both. Like,
okay.
Both. And I'm like, I love my husband and I try to go on a vacation with each other. Then we try to take one of the kids. I've been doing a girls trip the last 3 years, which has been nice. I never ever done that really because I've had kids I've been a mom for majority of my life. But like for me, it's like sitting down and being able to read a book at night for an hour. Like or watching my favorite show for an hour and just kind of shutting everything off. I know like it's still stimulating, like being on, like watching TV, but like for me, like that's how I like self-care.
What's your favorite show?
Oh God, I watch I'm a binger on everything. Right now, I'm watching Paradise. You watch that on Hulu?
No.
Okay, you should check that out. I
should because I pay for Hulu. I never watch it.
Oh yeah, watch Paradise. I mean, I loved like Game of Thrones, like that stuff. I watched all of that. Like, but I watch everything. Like, just like my personality, I'm all over the map. I watch whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's things I like to take an hour at night to myself. Like, without my husband goes to bed early, the kids go to bed. I have like an hour to myself at night where I'm like, do what I want, eat my ice cream, watch my show, read a book, research something I've been wanting to do. It's just like my hour. And then like I always try to take like 10 minutes in the morning to journal. Sometimes I have an acupressure mat. Sometimes I'll lay on that in the morning.
Those little knobs.
Yeah, like I'll lay on that in the morning. So I try to take 10 minutes to myself in the morning because what I realize is we all live in fight or flight in the world we live in because there's always something to do, somewhere to go. So if I can find little breaks of time throughout the day, that's more self-care than me like booking a spa day.
I love that too.
Yeah.
You mentioned journaling several times. You journal consistently?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll take a break from it, but generally like I try to journal every morning or night, either one. And that's more of like how I'm feeling, what I want to manifest, an idea I have, things I need to work through, or like, sometimes I'm like, why do I feel like this? And then I start writing like, this is what's upsetting me. It's like, it's getting it out of my brain because I get obsessive with things like, and I'll talk about them over and over. I'll think about them over and over until it caused me like serious stress. So writing it has been very therapeutic for me.
Will you turn it into a book?
The book has been sitting on my heart for a very long time. And a lot of people have been like, when are you going to launch your book? When are you going to launch your book? So actually it's so funny that you said that. Driving over here, I have a few friends who wrote a book recently and like, you don't ever want to be that friend that's like, can you help me out? Can you hook me up with your like, but I was like, no, I'm just going to ask these people like, can you like, and if they don't want to, that's fine. They don't have to share their resources.
Ask you if they need help. So
yeah.
Why not,
so this year I was like, I'm going to find one of my friends who is comfortable sharing, like maybe like an introduction to their publisher and kind of figure out what that book looks like.
I'd read the book for sure.
Thanks.
I'd definitely read the book.
I said I have 2 books. One that nobody can know it's me, and I'm going to tell all my wild sober stories, and it's going to have to be like nobody's going to know I wrote it because
just a fake, like a ghost name.
Yeah, it's going to be like because I don't know if like I'll have family or a husband or kids or anything after that. And then there'll be one that's like telling my story more motivational and like sharing more like tools, tricks, all that. But I was like, I need to just like sometimes I'm like I just need to like a fiction about it, but like it's really nonfiction.
When people say that to me, they're like, you need to write a book. I'm like, I don't want people to know shit. Are you kidding? I'll tell them what I want them to know, but I don't have to know everything.
Yeah, I mean, I let people know a lot, but sometimes I'm like, okay, Drew, you've gone too far.
Yeah,
now you've made this an uncomfortable situation.
I've gone back a little bit and deleted, and I'm like, shit, can you read that edited part? I hope not.
I know, right? Like, there's some things I leave a conversation. I'm like, I cannot believe I just said that to that person. They will never forget me now. They'll be like, that's the girl who did that.
So on the cusp of turning 41.
Yeah.
Not the cusp because you're there though.
Yeah.
Which is still not 41 is still young.
Yeah.
Very young. You know.
It is.
If you could travel back in time to that 13, 14, 15-year-old Drew that took that first drink and then all of a sudden went into that spiral. Is there anything that you would tell her?
Oh God, like I'm getting teary-eyed. I think it's that like you were like perfect who you were. Like you were such like, I was loud and I was fun and I sang and I was in choir and I played sports and like people dimmed my light, like, you know, and people like say things and hurt your feelings, but like you were perfect, like how you were, and you didn't have to change for anybody. I think that's the thing is like you like were I was such a beautiful young soul, and I like look back, I'm like, what happened to that girl for a while? But she's back. I found her again, and I'm like, I was just vivacious and like didn't care. And I think I missed that for so long. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And you are a beautiful soul today.
Oh,
I mean, you have a lot of light. You really do. It shines from the minute like you stepped out the car, you know, to now. And
thank you.
You know, if people want to follow you, first, do you have a website?
Yeah, so we have I need to build a personal website. That's on the list this year too, just like all the things.
There you go.
But we have our business website, so gemlifecollective.com, and then our drink brand has drinkgemblends.com. So you'll find our beverage on the Drink Gem Blends, and then on the Gem Life Collective, you'll find all of our events, other brands that we carry, like, you know, about our story, all that stuff.
And it's Drink Gem, Gem.
Gem, yep.
Blends.com. Yeah. And on social media, you're an Instagrammer.
Yeah, I am. Yes. Instagram, TikTok, Drew Davis Beauty, or you can find Gem Life and Bar is our brick and mortar. And then, do you follow that one? We have Dry Vibes. I've got a lot. We have Serving Dry Vibes is our festival. And then Drink Gem Blends is our drink.
I'm pulling that up right now because if I don't do it now, I'm not going to know.
I know, right?
Are there any events in the future coming up?
Yeah, well, we have a psychic medium coming to our shop, and she's incredible, and it's very healing. So we do like a medium gallery with like 20 people, and then she connects with you or in past ones and helps kind of heal those maybe unanswered questions. We're going to work on you found it? Yeah, a retreat, I think in September at the Jersey Shore, just like a sober retreat and just, you know, like more intimate. And then we'll do Dry Vibes again. And January, I want to do it in Philly in January, but it's been rough the last few Januaries for me with the snow.
With the weather?
Yeah, so we're thinking maybe Miami. Maybe everybody from Jersey can catch flights to Miami and come, you know, sit on a rooftop and do a sound bath.
Yeah, because there's really nothing going on after that. You know, you got Art Basel and that'd be perfect.
So, I mean, we're playing with that idea. I mean, people ask me to bring back Dry Vibes in Philly. So I probably will bring it back maybe January, February, but it's just the weather has been kicking my ass the last few years.
But it had great turnouts.
Yeah. I mean, we had I think 500-600 people there the last 2 years.
That's a hell of a turnout.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, think about it. Like,
I know.
It gives somebody something to do in the weather, too.
I know, that's true.
Gets them out of the house, and especially people that are in recovery or into that because we get cooped up and then we're isolating again.
Yeah.
You know?
February to March is the hardest time for me mentally. I have a really tough time. And maybe it's seasonal depression. Maybe it's being cooped up and not having fresh air and sunlight. But it is a tough time usually. I struggle those months.
Same.
Yeah.
I struggle other months.
Well, same. Yeah. But I think a little bit, I'm like, my husband's like, this last week, I think I've cried like a lot of times. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I need sunlight.
Oh, I said that in Santa Ana. I'm like, I'm living in California.
Yeah, I know. Literally. I was at an event yesterday we hosted for women going through perimenopause or menopause because we also want to host those and talk. Actually, alcohol and hormones don't go together very well, and a lot of women don't realize that in their 40s and 50s, and then they increase their drinking because they're stressed from the hormones. But yeah, so we hosted that, and some lady was like, you might be perimenopausal if you feel like you want to sell your house and move to Florida or California. And I was like, I've been sending my husband Zillow links like every day for like Florida homes and stuff. And so I thought it was just funny that like sometimes it's, you know what? Sometimes you can't heal where you were hurt. I fully believe that. You can't heal where you're hurt, but sometimes you can't run away until you deal with the problems that you're going through.
Agreed wholeheartedly with both of that. That all meshes together because you can't, but you've got to face what was there before you can walk away from it. Because if not, you're always going to be looking back at that.
Exactly.
And
exactly. But
looking back for us sucks.
Yeah. But you know what I've done a lot of in the last 6 years? I've gone back to places where I've been hurt really bad. And I've like, I hosted Dry Vibes in Kansas City, and there's a lot of dangerous things that happen, a lot of hurtful things. So I hosted there to bring part of my healing to that city. And I went back to like where I lived as a single mother. I took a picture like as a different person, and it was very healing for me. And so I've been doing that a lot. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to go back here and just visit who I am now.
Heal yourself.
Yeah. And just like let this area know that like I'm okay.
I like that.
I
I like that a lot.
It's a little different,
but well, not really. I mean, it shouldn't be different though.
Yeah.
It should be what we should do. We should be able to heal ourselves like that.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it all over, and I'm loving it.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate you showing up today.
Yeah.
It is crappy weather out, but this is, this was beautiful.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for thinking of me and allowing me to take this mic over for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I invite you to come back. And like I said, I do say it to people, but I say it to only the people I really mean it to. So
Yeah. Thank you.
But once again, I want everybody to know, if you are not following her, it's Drew Davis Beauty, and it's DREW Davis Beauty on Instagram and on TikTok.
Yep.
And Dry Vibes, the Gem Life. You get all
Yeah.
that information out there. Make sure you're following her. Drew, thank you once again.
Yeah, thanks for
I love
having
your
me.
energy. Thanks again. Everybody else, remember, whatever it is you stand for, be a voice. This is Britt Carpenter and Usula Media. Have a great rest of your day.